So recapping, this is part 2 of the presentation. Early stage startups need legal help. Well, what I mean by that? What I mean is this, is that in a recent presentation by an IP attorney, I learned certain facts that I was unaware of, and they're pretty scary facts. Scary, or I would say paradigm altering. One is that 75% of all valuation are now intangibles. So 75% of the worth of companies like Google and other things are based on intangibles. And intangibles can be branding, it can be intellectual property, it could be management. All these different things are intangibles. So what it realized is that basically, when I first come up with an idea or solution, it's worth nothing. As soon as I start doing the blueprinting and I start doing some writings and describing and everything else, there's some value. Now, here's the problem. As long as I keep the idea to myself, it's a trade secret. The moment I start talking about it, I'm making it public. And what happens there is that if there's any IP, intellectual property, that could be secured by it, guess what? I've just given myself a year to apply for an IP in the United States, and in other countries, guess what? I've blown it. So in a country like China, what it means is they may not have access to the US market, but you know what? They can take that announcement and apply it in China and have full reign over. So, so what it means is as early stage startups like these two kids are, they're going around picking out and coming up with ideas for change, and ultimately, that bag that they have developed is IP that needs to be protected. And the fact is, it's not going to get protected until it has some value, and it's going to take building a proof of concept, getting customers, before any angel investor, other than friends, family, and fools, will invest in it. So my question is can we create an environment where we don't need friends, families, and fools to develop proof of concepts, develop customers, and know that our IP is safe? And I think there is. And the solution is the 100 by 2020 strategic initiative. So what does that mean? What does a 100 by 2020 strategic initiative mean? Well, it means this. It means we take, we want to identify out of the thousands out there, 100 early stage startups, attract them to our region. It could be Florida, it could be Malaysia, it could be anywhere. It could be the Southeast, it could be a city, whatever. Wherever you want to set up the fund. The fund be set up many places, multiple places. And by 2020, we want them to become $100 million companies. Now, what does that mean for Florida? What does that mean for your region? It means that all of a sudden you have $10 billion in return. So you take an environment or a situation where the only people who develop startups are the ones with money, the ones with access to VCs or universities, and you have basically an environment looking like this, where only a few can start up, and this is the current environment. So the model is to attract startups and turn them into viable businesses, and ultimately the return for the community is significant, because if you think 100 businesses at 100 million per each, that's $10 billion. The economy is picking up. The economy has a solution, and what you have in return is it's a simple process of really having a fund. That's that's what the 100 by 2020 sort of initiative is, that just holds IP and uses the interest in the fund to buy that. So if this doesn't work, we can always give the money back to the investor. So we say, lend us some money, lend us 10 million over a course of 10 years. See if we can build this fund, and ultimately by doing so, we can provide the service that these early stage startups need, and we can turn the environment, and by taking this wisdom, by taking this wisdom and providing it, all of a sudden, we have something that is really tangible. So I'm going to talk next more specific on what it is, but just to summarize, we want to establish a fund with $10 million, leverage it 3-to-1 through local, state, and turn it into 120,000 per month return to invest in startups. It's pretty simple.